How you doing, guys? Josh Carter here with One Objective. I want to talk to you guys about sponsorship. I've been asked a lot of questions about how do we go about getting sponsorship. Well, when I was fishing tournaments several years back with Fishers and Men and all that, me and James was able to get some sponsors, money sponsors, to help pay some of our expenses and entry fees and all that stuff. And it really wasn't fishing product sponsors or none of that. So um, when I go into the sponsor part of it, I'm kind of looking for ways to not only help me out but help the sponsor. That's the main thing, is to help the sponsor out, and then you get rewarded at the end of it. So this series I'm going to be doing, it's a 3-part series. It's going to be why um, why do you need sponsorship, which is going to be this one, but also where to start looking for sponsorship, what to um, places just to go to look for sponsorship, and where you should look, and sometimes it always doesn't mean going into the fishing industry to find your sponsor. So, and then the next is going to be how to get it, how to get them, but also how to keep them, because once you get them, you think that's the hard part. Okay, yeah, I've done all this work to get them. I've done resumes, I've done whatever, and then now you got them. Now what you got to do? So you got to be creative when it comes to sponsorship, whether it's in the fishing industry, racing, whatever you're doing to get sponsors. Um, so we're going to go into the first part of the series, the 3-part series here, and it's gonna be why. Why why do you need sponsorship? I mean, you see some people, they get it, they just I call them patch bandits. And it's cool that some of the guys, they want to get their jerseys with the stuff they like to use. And there's nothing wrong with that. Um, but why support them so much when you're not getting any kind of benefit out of it. Now, if you're just doing it for fun, you're going out there just to go fishing, which you should, anyways. When you go fishing, you should be doing it for fun. But you know, you got to look at it two ways. You're doing it for fun, or you're trying to make this thing into a career, or you're trying to make this thing into I call it a part-time job. Um, so you got to look at it two different ways. Now, if you're just trying to get into it, to get into the industry um, and try to build your name and all that, and I can understand it. But I see a lot of people, man, they just shooting, like I know J&J Custom Tackle. I get, I don't know how many messages on Instagram and on Facebook. Hey, man, love your stuff. Will you sponsor me? That's all I get. It's no, what do you like about our products? It's none of that. So I feel like a lot of people do it just to say it's cool. I got a sponsor. And they're at the boat ramp, and they're talking to their buddies. And they're like, man, I just got this sponsor, and some of them guys, man, didn't even get nothing. Um, they got a sponsor, and a lot of times, um, when you get that sponsor, it's a pro staff deal, and a lot of people don't understand exactly what a pro staff deal is. I'm gonna have a link in the bottom of a blog that I wrote about what is pro staff. A lot of people think pro staff is I'm a pro, and actually it's promotional staff. You're gonna help them out. You're gonna get discounts. You might get 20% off, 50% off, 75% off, or some of them work as a sales, like a commission type deal, where you sell so many products, you get them so many hits to their page, or you get whatever, and you'll start getting a commission if they notice that that's what you're getting. So, a lot of people say, "Man, I want to get a sponsor," but they don't really realize why do they need it. I mean, are you doing it for a living? If you're an elite pro, FLW pro, you fish opens or Costas, uh, and you need some backing for it, yes. Or if you need to help cut the cost and tackle a little bit, yes. But if you're just going out to fish the regular weekend event, um, sponsorship's great, and it can help you out, but it's really tough. I don't want to go into too much on that because then I'm getting into the next segment. So you kind of got to pick your battles when it comes to sponsorship and which route you want to go. Now, if you say, okay, I'm going to fish these events this year, like around here, you got English Choice, you got Fishers and Men, you got the Bass Quest tournaments, events that are a little more expensive. That's when you try to go and you start looking for your money sponsors. So your lure sponsors and all that, they help out a little bit, but it's all depending on which route you want to go with this. So, like I said, if you're just getting out there to have a good time, you want to help represent people's products, like a buddy that owns a tackle business or anything like that. I know Stanley helps us out. Evan, he's been getting into helping us out, and we got a couple other guys that use our stuff with J&J that help us out and help push our product as well. And it's kind of like they're on our pro staff. So, but like I say, at the beginning of this, when you're sitting down at the table and you're figuring up your tournament series and you say, man, I need sponsors, figure out why. Do you left on a shaky head so much that you want to get a discount because, you lose so many or you go through so many or whatever. So you're like, man, if I could just cut the cost there, I could put this money into this part of the tournament series. So you got to really figure out why you want to do it. So, and like I say, some people think it's cool, and that's fine. So I get, like we'll say, when people contact me, they want free stuff. After they contact me, I say, okay, what lures do you like of ours? What's your favorite color, or what's your favorite, whether it be a shaky head, jig, drop shot, whatever. And I get no response after that. Or they ask, hey, are you looking for any guys to sponsor? And I'll be like, well, no, but we got, we got a pro staff deal that we might be able to work out with you. And they was like, what is that all about? And I always tell them, you'll get a promo code to order stuff. And that's when we had our site up. They get a promo code. They get 25% off. If we start seeing a lot of orders coming through with that person, then we're going to say, okay, next year we're going to give them, let's give them 35, 40% off, 45. It depends on how much they sell. So they kind of work their way up a tier. And most of the time, when you get on a pro staff deal, that's what you're doing. You're working your way up. You're not going to start, let's say you get on, I don't know, I'm trying to think of, let's say Ranger Boats. Let's say you go, all right, I'm on Ranger's pro staff. You're not going to go to the dealership or to Ranger and get a free boat. A lot of the pros don't even just go get a free boat. They get a great discount on a boat, but they don't get it. But that also comes along with, once you get that, it's the work after that. And, you don't just get the boat at a good price, and you never have to talk to them again. So, so a lot of people want to just get the free stuff, but they don't want to do the work, and that's really frustrating as a business owner. When you tell somebody that, and then they don't even respond most of the time. So that's a good way to wing them out. I always tell them pro staff and tell them the deal. They don't like it, it goes to show you the dedication. But when people tell me that they've used our stuff, I can tell who's used it, who's not. Because people that really like your stuff and do really well with your stuff, the way social media is right now, they'll start tagging you. They'll start tagging pictures with your lure in their mouth or their product somewhere in there. You'll start getting tagged a lot. And that's what I do when I look at sponsoring or getting somebody on pro staff. If they start buying from me all the time, and I'm like, man, this guy's really buying, and then I start following with social media, and I'm like, man, this guy's really posting some good stuff about us, we want him because he knows our product, he uses our product, and he has faith in our product. But then there's also comes down, not trying to get too far off the subject, it also comes down to what do you do when it comes to fishing? Are you just a social media promoter, or do you fish tournaments? What do you do? It seems like nowadays you're getting so many people now that don't even fish tournaments that's getting sponsored. So, and that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. It does kind of hurt with some of the guys that are fishing tournaments now, because now they go to try to get sponsored or on pro staff, and it's hard to get on there because now you got so many people that are doing it, and they're just posting pictures of them catching fish on social media. And there's nothing wrong with that because it works for you, and and some people don't like to drop all that money on a tournament, but they love to go fishing. I know some people that just love to fish. They fish all the time. They don't really want to put their money in tournaments, and they're really good, but they just want to get, either a discount on some lures that they use all the time or whatever. So, but just ask yourself why you really need this sponsor. So, like I say, if you're doing social media stuff, my suggestion is keep doing your social media stuff. Don't really go looking. Just keep posting videos. Be consistent. Posting videos, posting pictures, and tagging those companies, because it's eventually going to come around. They're going to start seeing it. They're going to start seeing your face every week, posting a picture of a fish or posting a video that you did of how to rig that lure or how to do something with it. So stay consistent. And when it comes to tournament fishing, fish your butt off, man. It'll eventually come. I mean, these guys that are really good, some of them never ask for the sponsors. They just come to it. And granted, also do the same thing. If you want a tournament, tag your lures that you used to win. Even if you're not sponsored by them, just keep tagging them every time, every week. If you're fishing tournaments and you say, hey, about to put in here at such and such lake, hope to get it done, and then tag some of the companies that you like to fish. Me, I like throwing Abu Garcia a lot. I throw Missile Baits, Bigfoot Baits. A lot of our sponsors that we already have on our show, I throw that stuff. So, I'll tag them in a lot of that stuff. So, but another thing too that it really gets me is, like, say, kind of getting back to one thing I was talking about was go after a product that you like. Don't, if you love throwing Lucky Crafts, but you can't throw a Strike King, but you're like, hey man, they're opening up for Pro Staff. Maybe I can get on Strike King. Don't go chasing that, because you're gonna still throw your Lucky Crafts, and you're not gonna throw those as much because you don't have confidence in them. So go after stuff that you have confidence in, that you love to throw, that you know is gonna work, and you catch a lot of fish. So, or whatever you're gonna use. I see guys that have asked me for sponsorship, but they're tagging another brand jig all the time, or they're tagging another brand shaky head or whatever. So it's kind of, I see that, and to me, I'm like, well, if this guy's tagging this stuff, he's not really using mine. He ain't got confidence. He likes throwing that stuff. He needs to be going with them, not me. He's not going to benefit me that well. So, like I say, just shoot after the companies that you really like. And that's kind of me getting into another segment, so I'm going to pull out of that. But then it comes down, to money. If you're not looking for product, you're looking for money. I'm going to tell you right now, that is hard to get out the box right away. And I'm going to tell you about 95% of you, if you're just getting into tournament fishing or into social media or fishing in general, the money's not going to come. It just don't. Now, the money comes from your savings when you get on Pro Staffs and stuff like that, but other than that, it's not going to come, not unless you go elsewhere, which, like I say, we're going to get into that on the second series of this. So, but just realize, all in all, no matter what sponsorship you get, whether it be tournament fishing, social media, web page, stuff like that, it's a lot of work. It ain't something you get and then you got it, and you're like, all right, I got sponsored by J&J Custom Tackle, and I get this off on my shaky heads or my jigs, and you don't post nothing else after that. You might use them, or you give them to your buddies to try, or you might get a couple orders, but that's it. That's not it. Now is when the work begins. That's when you need to get out there and you need to fish all the time, or you need to be dedicated into what you're doing with that sponsor. Now, it gets really tough is when you get 4 or 5 sponsors, and then it's a whole lot more work, and you got to do a whole lot more with promoting, and you got to try to schedule out your time to promote each one. And sometimes you get lucky, depending on your sponsors, that you can get out there and promote all of them in one shot. Like you look at Roland Martin and Jimmy Houston, Bill Dance. They're all great guys at promoting. It's hard to watch a Roland Martin show when he's promoting everything. I mean, I'm not saying it's hard to watch. it's hard to miss when you're watching one of those shows of everything he's using. When he gets to talking about, he caught that 13-pound largemouth on I can't remember what he uses, but let's just say a quantum smoke reel with a quantum smoke rod with string braided fishing line. I mean, they go into a whole big thing. So they just covered 2 sponsors right there. And if you watch the Elite Pros talk online, I mean, like if you're watching a live weigh-in or the FLW or Elites, and when they start thanking their sponsors or when they're plugging a sponsor, they'll tell you, I couldn't have done it without my Triton with 250 Mercury on the back. So, I mean, they just covered 2 sponsors right there. So, it's a lot of work that people just don't realize that after – it seems like a lot of work to get them. It's harder to promote them and keep them and make them happy. So, if you just love to fish and you just want to go out there and not worry about all the work, just go fish. If you love to fish but you're trying to save a little bit of money here and there, you can look into the sponsors. But always remember at the end of the day, why do you need them? But also, why are you doing this sport? Why are you doing it? Because you love fishing. So just get out there, enjoy the sport, do it, and the sponsors will come. Don't be so beaten down that you don't have sponsors, especially when you go to some of these tournaments and you see guys got patches all over them and all that, and sometimes they don't even do that good. So don't base nothing off of that. Just go out there, fish, learn to fish, because that's going to be a big part of it. If you can't catch fish that well, or you can't promote, you can't catch fish to promote that well, I wouldn't even worry about the sponsor side of it. So like I say, guys, I hope this right here helps you out on this segment of it. The next segment is going to be really good, and the third segment is going to be great. It's going to be a lot more information in it. It's going to be really packed. But I'm trying to lead into that. I don't want to give you everything yet. So, but yeah, just remember, you love the sport. Get out there, fish, get more people involved with it, and share your pictures on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever, Snapchat, whatever you do, and tag your companies. Tag the companies that you like to use, and it'll eventually come around and eventually start working for you. So, but anyways, guys, like I said, I hope this helps. Share it, like it if it helped you out. Also, please subscribe to us. We're trying to get more and more subscribers. We're trying to help you guys out with fishing. We got a great show coming up this Sunday. We're going to get Dylan Hayes on. Sorry about the last show with Jordan Lee. It's just been a nightmare for some reason trying to get him on. It's always something with the technical issues or something. So, but anyways, check out our sponsors. We got them links in the bottom where all our sponsors. Go check them out. Tell them that we sent you there, and like I say, share us. If you catch some nice fish, follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and tag us in them, guys. We love to see them fish. So y'all have a great weekend. Stay tuned. Next week I'll be doing a second part 2 of this, and I'll talk to y'all later. See ya.